But is this going to be the end of the road? Well, they need to come back in the series. It's a best of 5 after all.
Yes, LaFell, I will explain it in just a bit here because this is going to be an intense game. Not only were both sides looking for comfort picks, but SAETA really going above and beyond in the second half of the draft to shake things up for the mid-trios. And I think that's where this game is going to come down to because level 1 is not in their favor when it comes down to the wave clear. Now, they both lost a concussive blast really, really quick. But that first motion gives Name the advantage that they were looking for and avoid the worst part of the early game, which was level 1.
That is just the thing. They just want it to be in their favor when or where they want to decide to engage, right? And for SAETA, with the export being shown as well here, Gideon, we have to dive deeper. But before that, for Fanwa as well, going in with the Revitalize, now they slowly disengage from that independent team fight.
Now, here's the thing. When you have your mid-trios battling it out, it's really a 3v3. However, if you notice GXP's lineup, only Lima, unfortunately, is the tankiest person on their squad. Sophia's not going to walk up too far without Lima, and Fa doesn't want to get close at all. Now, here at level 2, this is where Sophia can get really, really aggressive, but SAETA want to punish this. They are taxing the HP pool and also using the waltz so that Fanhua can get really aggressive and still walk out of safety.
Plus, the additional shield is really helpful for them when it comes to clutch moments, right? And it's all about surviving, not only here on MWI, but surviving the game first. Okay, one game at a time here for SAETA. And now we also have to somehow look at a closer look on how will Jessica fare well against the Phobius of Ling later on. Now she got this huge advantage with the setups with the Cloud Form current term, plus now she actually has damages she could inflict upon GXP whenever needed. And right on cue, it's not going to be, or it's might be going to be onto the objective here, which is a turtle that spawned right on cue.
I think step 1 for either one of these teams, they may want to go for this neutral objective, but they don't necessarily have to take it. Wait, turtle ball hits!
Okay, they're turning into the bait. Name almost falling low. It's going to be a Farag armor being pop up here for the last Insanity. So with the first blood, it's Ling being the first blood against, of all people, now SAETA. Semi-standard hard here, but surprisingly, they let go of the turtle. They just focus on to getting that huge first blood kill for Joe.
That was actually a pretty insane fight there. Like, Jessica saved the day. Name was meant to die, and Jessica saved 2 lives with a single flicker and Cloud Shift. Now, we see Fanhua getting aggressive, but at the same time, they notice it. They don't mind if she dies, only because Kai is going to be their late game insurance policy next to Name.
Yep.
At this stage of the game, I would say that SAETA, again, they're going to contest basically everything, but there's no real commitment to it.
Maybe for now, because SAETA just has to be really careful. It's all about taking in onto the lane and going for the free hits. Is going to be Name. Perfect blast piece there, getting a kill onto Sophia. Now the numbers are quite rolling and going onto the side of Name and Fanhua.
And this is exactly what you want to see. Some sacrifices from the side lanes that isn't in your late game scalers.
Yep.
The Phobius knows that later in the game, he's going to be a lot less relevant. So at this point of time, you see that Jessica is going to take advantage of that. You know what? I'll miss out one wave, but if I can set up 2 beautiful kills for Name and speed her up, this game will be free.
Who says that you have to play the long game, right, to activate a Sicilian? It's all about making it faster here for SAETA. And now they also have this great vision when it comes to Name with the Sanguine Claws as well. When it comes to checking out each and every bush, if ever or whenever necessary.
Now, right now, what's really uncomfortable is that both Jessica and Ling are really good at this Sora. They should understand the mechanics well. But unfortunately for Ling, they need to make sure that Jessica doesn't really get out of this lane. Ling needs to keep Jessica here for as long as possible and tax her life total every single time she walks up to that wave.
Oh, but that's the thing. Sometimes Jessica just totally lets go and doesn't even put so much attention onto Ling. She just wants to be there when it fight actually occurs here for SAETA. And that might actually happen in the next few seconds or so. It's Spa getting an advantage here for the Pixel Bush. But there's the Sanguine Claws that we're talking about. Great advantage here for Name. This position here for GXP. They're trying to dance around this neutral objective, and Jessica 66 is ready to rumble whenever ready. Mountain Shocker activated as well. It's going to be the blast here for Jessica 66, targeting Fa of all people. And Joe freely gets the turtle in hand. The Bats Flaps will be able to land in on those targets. Bats piece activated as well, where Name and Guy will join in the fights, but a little bit too late because SETA already got objective and a kill, but GXP got a trade in return.
Now, already with the Clock of Destiny finish here, I think it's really unlucky because Fanwa just could not find a really good angle to get that Cursed Blood onto multiple targets, and the counter engage from GXP was just a little too good. This comes down to execution, and I think that right now, both lineups to a certain degree is going to be very even towards the later half of the game. My biggest concern is whether or not Va will be able to scale in time, because Fanwa is kind of unstoppable when Name is not too far away from her.
They need to find a way to actually like zone out and let Va do her job, which is to actually farm up as much as you can. So if ever that doesn't happen, what they wanted to do is somehow let Winnie do the talking, let Winnie do the damage if ever Fa doesn't get enough of the resources that she wants. And now SETA here onto the mid lane, they could actually force out some pickups here, but no, they're playing it safely for now.
Personally, I think that Winnie, once she gets 3 items, she's going to look to Blazing Duet Name as soon as they can. And for the meantime, SETA, again, they're not looking to kind of accelerate this game, as you can tell. They're looking to just, hey, match them, match that energy. Don't let the EXP go to waste. Don't let the gold go to waste.
It's all about conserving their energy as well, because whatever happens, all they needed is just to wait for enough stacks here for Nami to totally turn the slaps into 1 or 2 hits at most here against GXP. Plus, even though there's a threat of the Claude, Fanwa could actually bypass all frontliners here for GXP just to try and delay things up here. And Sophia might have enough stacks here for the Stone Snare. Lantern Flare activated there. Name! Okay, we see that coming. That is quite an advantage here for GXP. They could just try and reach her from the back, which is exactly what Ling is trying to do. No more flickers, but now they have to play it safe. They're slowly back away. Now they get a great vantage point, and they actually turn the tides into their favor and getting Ling in return.
Beautiful, beautiful setup coming in from SETA. They got GXP again in a 4v5 scenario that they cannot win from. And until we see GXP fight as 5, these fights, even a man advantage, is all SETA needs.
And that is exactly what SETA wants as well. That's going to be the last turtle falling onto the hands of Joe. Fa goes in with a plan B, just split pushing onto the top lane. And as you've mentioned, they need to fight on 5-on-5 here for SETA, but that isn't happening. So Jessica 66 takes advantage of the fact. Bats meets yet again for Name, collecting all those stacks to win it with a side blazing duet. She might actually fall, but no, luckily she will be able to get back just in time. But still, it's Ling taken down yet again by SETA.
Good teamwork coming in from SETA. They had to make sure that the chain CC was going to be effective. I mean, yes, it broke a little bit, but it was enough to chunk down Ling enough and get Winnie out of there.
That's a Crimson Mirror activated by Sophia. A slap is there, but last insanity committed here by Joe just to try and ensure the kill if ever necessary. Name with a bad speed free hit on the win. Finley, of all people, will be taken down. Flicker out here for most of the members of GXP. But still, for SETA, it's all about throwing the body Fanwa to get something more in return for SETA.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're not finding any more moments. Now GXP is starting to get into a scaling, starting to scale up into this match. Endless Battle already purchased for Yishin Shin. It will be able to start sustaining and getting in and out of these fights more effectively while still maintaining high bursts. When we look at everybody else, Guy so far already with 2 very valuable items is looking to get that Malefic Gun to extend her range, and then the composition is complete.
Yep, it's all about making Guy more dependable as well. Like compared to game 1, she didn't have enough time to actually scale up. Now she has the advantage. She has the position. Now they destroyed her onto the top lane. Controlling the macro as well is one of SETA's weakest points from previous games, but now they're also focusing on to balancing out waves. And with Winnie, on the other hand, she just wants to focus or force out reactions from SETA, but no, they have their own plan in mind, and that's to target Sophia. Still no flicker yet. They know that it's just a Crimson Beacon. Now they transition here onto the objective.
They're also going to break the Holy Shielding on the top side with a slow pushing wave as they're about to fight.
Oh, Jessica 6 forced out of her ulti just to get away. It's Ling onto the front line. They let go of the Lord. It said there's going to be a taunt. Fa will be securing the Lord on her way to annihilate members here for SETA. And now they catch them. Silas will pop off immortality. And Winnie finally gets an opening that she needs. It's Guy and Joe being left here. And Winnie ensures the double. Meanwhile, for Guy, she gets a triple in return as SETA still got an advantage all over that messy clashes that GXP did.
A 3 for 3. What? Hold on, no, Jessica in trouble. Unfortunately, no ult, and now it turns into a 3 for 4 in favor of GPX.
Okay, now they finally get something more out of messy teamfights, miss initiations, and what mattered is that they were able to actually get an objective while they were doing so.
They're going to keep on doing this, right? I mean, just look at the way that they're playing it, right? I think that the mistake here is the fact that Ling didn't immediately flicker onto Guy and trigger that passive. They needed that mini stun to happen to allow a cleaner way for Winnie to get in and apply that damage. Not to mention, got to stack it up. So again, communication starting to break down here, but it's not over just yet as they're about to dive.
Okay, they're approaching Fanwa with a Dark Right Inferno pursuit, but Jessica 6 goes in with a counterplay, but not enough to do so damage. But still, that is a kill here for SETA. Guy onto the front. They were able to take down Link in the process. That's a 1-for-1. But Winnie just doesn't want that to be a tie. Ensures a turret destroy onto the top lane. They're really good at their macro tank side here for GXP.
It's actually really insane how good they are at making these macro decisions, right? They're not wasting any time, and Winnie knows that Zoe's got nothing on her as long as she has BMI. The only problem is Guy, because every one of those auto attacks, while Claude needs to get like 14 in to get that big damage, and oh, hold on!
Okay, it's still Jessica 6 trying to somehow set up a play. Being forced out of their positions here is GXP, but still, Flicker activated for Sophia just to try and survive.
I think at this point, SETA getting a little nervous here. Ice Queen's wand being purchased from Zoe. Now they can play the traditional front to back. The composition is already complete. They just have to fight 5v5, and it's the onus is on GXP to kind of break those boundaries. It might be a little bit hard, right? Because that cursed blood, it's just too dangerous. If any of the squishier targets like Winnie or Fa get caught by it together, I think that's game over.
That is super risky here for GXP, and that's why they're really being careful where the target. It's being caught in a crossbar here for the members of Jessica 6 and SETA. Actually wants to get a kill. Even the flicker for Name, but that is going to be an easy kill here for Fa. He definitely knows there's no more escape here for Name.
Beautiful, beautifully played by Fa. Looked for the flank angle, was really patient. Unfortunately, Ling might have died there, but they were still going to risk it, especially if they find that shutdown onto Name. The slower Name scales, the better it is for GXP.
Yep, with Galaxy Phoenix now, they're focusing their attention on controlling out the wave and position when it comes to taking out the Lord. It's going to be a free Lord here for Galaxy Phoenix, and now great zone out by Lemma and Sophia against SETA.
It's looking really good here, but unfortunately for SETA, despite the score being 8-11, the Lord is in the hands of GXP with a 1k lead, looking to explode it into a 5. However, now that bottom side, no Holy Shielding both top and a bottom, it kind of doesn't matter. I feel like GXP has kind of conditioned SETA a little bit. And yes, look at that mid lane. Oh, what the... Fan just lost her ult.
Okay. Kind of a whoopsie here for SETA, but still, it's Jessica 6 with a great initiation. But Sati though, members here from GXP will be taking the 1-by-1. It's still Guy coming up on top. As you've mentioned, it's all about the free hits here from Guy. She is the woman that GXP has to hunt for.
I mean, they could have gotten a lot more there, but then again, maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure GXP saw the random Curse of Blood being thrown out and thought, we could force this, but they forgot about Jessica. That Cloud Shift works just as good as the main initiation tool.
Okay, now for SETA, they just have to be really careful onto like controlling the wave as well. They have very good initiations, to be honest. All throughout their games, they're really dominant when it comes to clashes. They really know how to play the micro really well. But the problem is that most of the time, even not so in super long games, 15 minutes is considered mid-game, right? And they're already gotten their base turrets already destroyed, but most of the opponents that they play against, and that is somehow frustrating if you're SETA, because you also have to double down onto watching out the long lanes here, but Lema instantly being bursted down. Okay, Fa was actually waiting for members here for SETA to actually exhaust all their ultimates. Last Insanity committed as well. It's Winnie being caught. Oh my gosh, they stayed a bit too long there against SETA.
They just didn't make a decision. GXP needed to start moving to that direction. They cannot just let it go. They could have just sacrificed the waves just to make sure that the rest of GXP can get out. And now their cores are in trouble, and Lima might be the next to fall.
Okay, even with the random diet, I think that won't be enough to survive. And it's still Name collecting all those stacks.
Oh my god.
Now it's Joe onto Fa, trying to run away. Immortality remove entirely. Last Insanity just to try and get away, and she will successfully do so. But SETA, on the other hand, will be punishing most of the members here onto GXP. Focus Fire and actually destroying a base turret in the process.
Okay, well, I thought maybe that flank was already looking so good, but the rest of the team, and especially for Lima, losing so much HP, just didn't have the right conditions. Now, both sides missing inhibitors. SETA needs to go back to clear up this wave and then look to contest the Lord. So right now, GXP gets first move to position for this Lord. Is nobody going to clear up that top wave? Thank God. Turnaround coming in from Lima.
Okay, and that's the thing for SETA. They have to think of the bigger picture. And with them thinking that they have to go out or go home to defend, it took what? Like literally a few seconds for GXP to actually burst down and get the Lord.
Again, I was saying that SETA was able to match up with the macro of GXP, but it seems that now it's starting to slip. The fatigue from the 16-minute game where every single one of these moves could be the difference of extending the series or sending you right back home. And either way, GXP, they're the cool, calm, collected ones, yet we haven't seen a very clean 5v5 just yet. It's always somebody goes down a little too quick. Somebody isn't as committed compared to the others. Once GXP gets on that same page, SETA's going to be in a lot of trouble unless they once again forget about the two big ultimates. Cloud Shift coming in from Jessica66 or the Cursed Blood from Funhua.
Okay, two things to check if you're GXP. And now, they're slowly approaching top lane here. Lema onto Joe. There's going to be lack of flare. Last Insanity just to clear off the minion wave that GXP brought onto the base of SETA. Now, it's going to be a defense, and they're not willing to risk it at all here, Gideon.
Why does nobody want to hit the turret? Just somebody, anybody at this point. And now they're pulling. Guy is literally pulling it because the mid-tier 2 didn't break.
Okay, now they're talking. SETA just wants to go in for a kill, but Funhua immediately melts down here on the heads of GXP. And we have Winnie here with a Blazing Duet going for free. Hits Sophia with a double. Now that's going to be a disaster here for SETA. They have to defend for their base. It's still complete 5 members here for GXP knocking in onto their base, approaching the mid lane.
Oh, this game just got extended for little to no reason here.
Yep.
And now the inhibitor's still being threatened, and yet SETA are going down as easily as you think. GXP, they got a little disrespectful there. They should have remembered, hey, you can't get the inhibitors without taking the tier 2s, so why did you hard push it on the long lane?
They were too focused onto taking down base turret that they forgot. Wait, we have to go back to the basic fundamentals, right? You have to prioritize first on the turrets that you really want to destroy, then you go by there. Now, for GXP, game extended. This might be a pro or a con, depending on whether they get the Lord or will SETA even contest this one.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting, actually. We see that Fa has decided to go for the War Axe as her last item. Despite everything, usually people make the decision of maybe it's the Malefic or whether we go into the War Axe. Usually the War Axe comes in as your second item over the Endless Battle. But let's see this conceal first before we go any further, because Lima is really out of position and didn't see it in time.
And now they rush in. Immortality removed entirely just before a Lord take here for GXP. Although technically, she still survives, but for SETA, they have another layer of info that they have. But still, first things first, they have to clear off wave after wave before they try and position themselves into trying to contest this objective.
I love the fact that SETA are using these small little tricks. When you conceal, stick by walls because it's just harder to notice something changing when it is a fixed position. But even so, they're still contesting for this mid spot here.
Okay, it's Fanmo being covered here by GXP. Waltz in towards Name, and now they try and dance around this Lord. 9 minutes into the game, this might be the ending Lord that GXP needs. And oh no, Jessica 6 is forced out of her ultimate. Wait, what? On the background, it's Fun getting the Lord, and when he goes in with an entry point of blazing to it, Jessica 6 might fall down. Yes, indeed. And Ling onto the hands out here, and Guy gets in with the multiple balls ahead, getting for the free hits. SETA is doing it. They want to survive, but wait, there's more. They have to go back. They have to defend their base, and it's Winnie on their back. That's 4 women across the map trying to find a way to go home safely to defend against GXP.
This might be the first time that both SETA and GXP have been put in this position. This is the sloppiest we've seen. So nasty as they 5v5 around this Lord pit. A steal from Fa, but yet we are seeing that SETA are coming out of on top in a lot of these scenarios. Both the XP's down and one chance to survive.
Okay, they still have the capability to extend this game. And an immediate shutdown onto Fa and Joe and the rest of the gang. They might just have it. They have it, what it takes just to try and survive for long. It's Sophia being targeted by 2 members. Even with the Lander Flare, I think that won't be enough because they are locking their sights onto her. And Guy still alive, still deathless by the way, onto this 21-minute game time.
And there's a chance at the end of the game right here, right now. They got to deal with these waves. Let it push in just a little bit closer. They have to stop it right here at the inhibitor. If they don't commit to it, they're going to get cloud shifted.
Okay, if they play it just right, they might be able to equalize this matchup. It's Lang and Winnie with the Blazing Do It with their ground. They just want to delay things up, but SETA just isn't having any of it. A minion wave will cross over, and it's SETA taking in game number 2.
They extend it. They bring it to one chance, one more game to see SETA versus